Okay, already live. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, selamat pagi kepada semua warga UiTM. InsyaAllah saya doakan semuanya berada dalam keadaan baik-baik sahaja. Selamat datang saya ucapkan kepada semua warga UiTM ke second virtual town hall, A Better Tomorrow, Augmenting UiTM Assessment and Evaluation Ecosystem yang berlangsung semalam 28 hari bulan dan hari ini adalah hari kedua dan besok 30 hari bulan adalah hari yang ketiga di mana town hall ini diadakan untuk memberikan sedikit input kepada semua warga UiTM berkaitan dengan pentaksiran dan penilaian akademik. Alhamdulillah, saya ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua yang hadir semalam dan kalau kita lihat semalam hampir 4,000 viewer yang telah melihat ataupun telah menonton setiap slot-slot yang disediakan oleh BPPA untuk second virtual town hall kali ini dan saya ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua yang mengikuti kami. Dan untuk hari ini merupakan hari kedua kami, insya-Allah ada 3 topik yang menarik yang kita bawakan, tapi untuk pagi ni kita ada topik yang saya rasa semalam pun dah ramai bertanya kepada kita dan insya-Allah hari ini kita bawakan topik yang sangat menarik dan topik hari ini adalah open book exam, issue and challenges dan hari ini kita bawa yang berbahagia Prof. Dr. Pamjit Singh daripada Faculty of Education. Apa khabar Prof?
Thank you. Khabar baik. Thank you.
Alright, okay Prof. Sebelum kita mulakan Prof, saya nak bacakan sedikit biodata Prof ni. Saya rasa saya kena bacakan because of there are lots of achievement dalam biodata ni. Untuk makluman semua, Prof Pamjit sebenarnya adalah guru di Faculty of Education. Jadi adalah senior yang sangat berpengalaman and I think that yang paling menariknya adalah he obtained PhD in Mathematics Education at Florida State pada tahun 1998 and the focus of research interest of Prof Pamjit adalah development in mathematics and specific interest in cognition processes. Jadi memang sangat sesuai untuk kita bawa Prof Pamjit untuk membincangkan isu yang berkaitan dengan open book exam ini dan pada masa yang sama juga tidak dinafikan penerbitan hampir 150 research paper dan juga authored for 23 books dan yang paling menarik sekali adalah MacZap Card iaitu innovation dari Prof Pamjit sendiri memenangi saya rasa banyak recognition baik dalam negara dan juga luar negara. Jadi pada hari ini tuan-tuan dan puan-puan seperti biasa kita akan benarkan Prof Pamjit untuk memberikan perkongsian beliau tapi pada masa yang sama juga kita mengharapkan interaksi dua hala di antara peserta di YouTube untuk mengajukan apa saja soalan dan saya yakin soalan-soalan tersebut kita akan berikan kepada Prof Pamjit dan kita akan bincangkan. Jadi Prof Pamjit tanpa melengahkan masa saya serahkan slot ini kepada Prof Pamjit untuk berkongsikan topik kita pada hari ini open book exam issue and challenges. Dipersilakan Prof.
Thank you very much. Okay, I boleh sharekan satu slide kan?
Okay.
Okay, I share dululah.
Boleh Prof.
Share saya keluar. Sudah keluar kan?
Sudah Prof. Okay. Prof dalam bentuk slide mode Prof.
Okay, saya.
Slide show mode. Alright.
Masih lagi slide eh?
Ya, masih lagi Prof. Okay Prof. Nice.
Okay,
Sudah,
thank
Prof.
you very
Boleh.
much. Thank you very much. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I was given this assignment to do open book exam. It's a very challenging topic. It's challenging because at current time, we are all talking about open book, especially at current context. Especially at current context when we are all doing online mode. And I've done one research on this preliminary findings, and I became more interested in this. And I took up this challenge because when Dr. Hisham asked me to do this one day, I said, first I was not prepared, I was not ready. Then after doing, I think I read quite a bit, but again, I'm not telling I'm the expert. There's a disclaimer here, the condition, end of the day, experts, because sometimes, let me tell you the definition of experts. There's nobody who's expert in the world, let me tell you. Each have experts in a small area. You ask me about cognition processes of thinking. Maybe I can, that's my PhD. And that's where I spent 3 years inside there. So when people come to say they are experts, we can look with a pinch of salt based on their track records. That's why we have this word we call a tourist research. I sure you all should know this word, tourist research. Tourist research, I found this word when it was used recently in one of the webinars I attended. I caught hold of the word, which is very true. Tourist research simply means we come, we do 1-2 research, we do 1-2 article, we consider ourselves experts. Expert simply means we immerse ourselves inside. Example I give you, experts on parenting. Who the experts on parenting? The parents themselves. Orang lain yang belum, yang don't have any experience, the parents are the expert. Example, we consider myself, we go to schools and do research. We are called tourist research. Reason is the teachers are the ones who are 365 days in a year dealing with a student, and yet we come into the school and do 1-2 pieces of articles and publish, and we say we are the experts. So again, the disclaimer here, the definition of expert. I will share what I have read from my experience, because I became a school teacher. I walked into the school 1st of August 1986. I walked into a school 1st August 1986, and my first assignment was to teach sejarah. Not math, by the way, sejarah. What to do? I have to adapt to the situation. After 4 months, I've taught math. But let me tell you one challenge which I'm facing here. I've taught primary 1. I've taught Form 1. I've taught Form 4, Form 5, Form 6. I've taught undergraduate, masters, and PhD. Let me tell you. For me, after 33, 34 years, the easiest to teach is PhD. The most difficult to teach is primary 1. Reason is because in primary 1, I remember when I was talking about satu campur satu, 1 plus 1. When you say 2, the child will look at you and stare, give a blank look, how you got 2. For a PhD, if I say there are 2 definitions about consequential mixed method, do you understand? No? Go and read more. So simple, go and read more. That will be my answer. So that's why I'm trying to say here, we, in the area when we profess, I think to use the word expert is very dangerous. Now, the learning outcome of this session, okay? I've spent quite enough time for this PowerPoint, and my PowerPoint are not the good one. You know, I see all Shamsul, they do all the infographic, graphic, mine, so more text one. I'm not so, if you get bored, you boleh tidur sekejap.
No, bro.
Okay.
The most important part is your content.
Yeah. My outcome for today, I've gone 2-3 times these slides, 3 times. My outcome is number 1, dissect the fundamental concept of teaching. I explained this in my talk the other day with Prof. Nur Azia and Hayati, and for the professional talk from Majlis Professor. Why I say teaching is important? Because teaching is the thing related to everything. Teaching is the individual. The individual runs the curriculum. Individual who relay with student. Individual is the one who assess. Number 2, differentiate the quality of an excellent teacher. Very important for teaching. I'm going to the individual. And the third one, appraise the fundamentals of closed book versus closed book. I use the word appraise, you know. I've read, I think, around 25 articles, because while we are doing the research, I've read 25, and there are 2 schools of thoughts here, which I will share. Again, I am not putting my views for it to be enforced. Nothing like that. I'm not telling my way or hit the highway. I'm not telling that. I'm just sharing a session. Each of us have our own thoughts. Then we go for it. But so these are my 3 learning outcomes. If you have any question, you can stop me anytime. Okay, Prof. Shamsul, kalau ada apa-apa soalan, they can ask me on the spot lah.
Yeah, Prof. I think that we will let all the question from the others. I will respond to it. Yeah, all right, Prof.
Okay. Purpose of education. Purpose of education is to initiate the intellect of everybody. Let me tell you. Now, if this is the purpose of education, like it or no, inflame their intellect. That in somebody say lah, I letak sini to impress you lah, saya ada buat sedikit bacaan lah. So I think everybody knows this. However, everybody knows this. Are we doing this? This is important to inflame the intellect mind of a person from our teaching and from our assessment. Does our assessment inflame the intellect of the person? Then, era of pandemic, we are all thrown into this sea of online learning. Let me tell you, I'm a school of old thoughts. I always believe talk and talk. But because of this pandemic, we are all forced to go online, and I find it online very interesting now. I got a lot of positive about online. I'm not telling online is wow, that's the only way, but I find online is good. Why online is good? Let me tell you, I can have 15 students in my class. I can see the expression of each person when the window is open, camera is on. So can we adapt? 100% can adapt. One thing we change, let me tell you, each of us are sitting here as the instructors in every aspect of our life. We cannot do research. Then we say we cannot do open book. Then we say we cannot do ODL. Until we go into that, until we experience it, then only we'll see, hey, yes, I can do it. All of us are like that. Changes take place when there's perturbation. When we are perturbed, we don't like now ODL. You think I like it? I didn't like it at all earlier. How to do? My first platform was Loom, Loom. What is Loom? I have no idea. So I took so long time to learn Loom and do that. Suddenly Google Meet came out. I say, what is Google Meet? I have no idea what was Google Meet. So I went to Google Meet, suddenly WebEx came out. My God, then Times came out. I say, what is this? But you see now, we have to face the current challenges. We cannot help it. Now, open book is there. We are so well used with all the closed book tests. We are so well used with it, well versed with it, and we do not want to change open book. Some will condemn open book all cheating only. So I don't believe in that. Yes, I have the same view of that also. So now, as the time goes by, we change. Same thing as parents, let me tell you. As parents, why I'm relating this? Because I want us, whenever we deal with students, right? Let me set the scene. When we deal with students, we are dealing with somebody else's children. The way we carry ourselves with our student, this student is someone else's child. Do you like how we deal with that student is someone else did with our child? I always say, how do you want someone or a teacher of your children's school to talk to them same way how we talk to our students? Imagine we show our sarcasm on students. Do you like it the same teacher use on our child? So again, the way we carry ourselves, it's not easy. Let me tell you, it's not easy. Put ourselves, if someone did it to our children, will we like it or not? So same thing, I carry a message. We must treat our students as our children. In that case, let me tell you, we'll always want the best for them. Put that as the scene of my entry. In that case, then we can hope to immerse more. Like it or no, examination influence learning. Students are learning because of examination. You like it or no. And we don't blame students, by the way. Why are we blaming students? Nothing to do with students. This examination matters because why? You see, now we blame the schools. We blame the school. Students come to school, they are not ready. You know, we always blame the university lecturers, always blame the student. Ini sekolah punya pelajar semua all regurgitate memory. If that something is wrong, what we in the university and first year students, what are we doing about it? I think for us, when something is not right, please come forward and help out. No, we always pandang luar. No, we can talk about macro and micro. Okay, the university policy makers, they talk from the top. They have a lot on their hands. Yang buat dasar, like yang buat dasar dalam HEA, yang buat dasar dalam pentaksiran. Then we implement in our faculty. Then we complain, ini dasar orang buat tak tahu macam mana mereka buat dasar. But these people when make a dasar, they have to think so many times. They have meetings after meeting, and we at our macro level, we only look at our side. I think if you want to look how they are thinking, you sit in their shoes, you will know. I was all the while, I was in the faculty. Sometimes I used to complain also, macam mana orang buat dasar. Kadang-kadang ini PLO, CLO, kadang But once you start doing your curriculum review, once you're immersed, then you know all the domains, Bloom taxonomy, right? We think we know. Up till today, I'm still confused. However, the more you go inside it, the more you appreciate it more. The more you appreciate it. Okay, examination influence our learning. Then learning influenced by the teaching. So now you see we got examination, we got the learning, and we got teaching. So now, dear audience, what is teaching? I think many of us think we know what is teaching. I just put a scenario, someone might not will get angry with me. Biar saya, tak apalah saya kena dimarahi. I said question. When you become a lawyer, you have to take some time, those like they study from overseas, they got their law degree, they'll come back, they have to do certified legal practice, CLP, to practice in Malaysia. When you become an engineer, you have to be legally to sit for one test to be certified as an engineer after taking a degree. If you go for driving school, kan, nak belajar bawa kereta, you must have a license. If you be an architecture, you learn degree, you must have a license. If you want to be a teacher, tak perlu license. If you want to be a teacher, no need license. We do our PhD and come back and we teach. Just imagine we drive a car without license. Is this possible? I'm just throwing some idea, what? So that
very dangerous, bro.
Very dangerous. But question is, but we are teaching the students. But do we have the license to teach? Of course, we do. We get PhD. Let me tell you, when we do our PhD, we are not doing in teaching on educated, because teaching involves individuals. Individuals are humans. Humans got psychology, got sociology, got theory, so many applications how to practice. Do we have the license? Okay. We are all guru. G-U-R-U. The meaning of guru comes from dissection of two words. It's a Sanskrit word, gu and ru. Gu means dark. Ru means light. That means the definition of guru is the light that dispels the darkness. That's his teacher. We call ourselves guru. Actually, in the word, the Sanskrit is guru. We all use that. So now, the light that dispels the darkness, we are so-called, the light is of course the up one. But in our context, we are the light who is supposed to dispel the darkness when students come into our classroom. Now, are we teachers? Are we lecturers? We are university teachers. You like it or no, we are teachers. That's why in the literatures, now people start saying, we are university teachers. Now, what is teaching? If it's possible, I give you 2 minutes to write inside the
YouTube channel, bro.
YouTube channel. What is teaching? I don't like one thesis lah. Satu ayat saja cukup lah. What is teaching? Maybe satu or dua sentence. Jangan look for satu thesis, copy and paste daripada internet lah. Can someone write for me? What is
please.
Definition of teaching?
Yes, please, audience. Please, audience, untuk write dalam YouTube channel, what is teaching, request by Prof. Anjit. So,
again,
Prof. Anjit, and then I will read for you.
Yeah, please don't look at the internet lah. Let me tell you, we are, our own intellect is so important. If we make mistakes, we are supposed to make mistakes. But sometimes making mistakes are two things. One, we make our mistakes, or we make mistakes from others. Sometimes, we always say we learn from our mistakes. Hey, hello, it's good, but it's good to learn from other people's mistakes. Why do we want to make the same mistake other people are making? So sometimes, we always say we learn from mistakes is good. We learn from other people's mistakes. So let's put inside just 2 minutes. I don't want to spend so much time there. What is teaching for you?
Yes, what is teaching? But some there are one comment here. Muhammad Hafiz Rosli said, disseminating knowledge, Prof.
Okay, good. Very good. Thank you very much. I expected that answer. Very good.
Yeah.
And also one more thing, please do not feel, I'm a person, meluarkan apa saya fikir. I might be wrong. Let me tell you, I might be wrong. I'm not telling I'm right,
Yeah.
please. But sometimes we learn, bila saya, then we'll stop, we'll fikir, betul ke apa dia cakap? We all make mistake. But let me express myself. Don't push me like, you're betul, you're salah. Let me express, then we'll learn more, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
another
But
1
and then
minute.
Prof, ada banyak juga bagi jawapan Prof. Ada yang kata the process of transferring knowledge, teachings meaning that interacting, the transitions of our student mind from unknowns to something that we known. Um, Most likely in our chat room, live chat, say that is sharing knowledge. So what do you think about it, Prof? Sharing
Very
knowledge
good.
and disseminating knowledge.
Very good. Okay, I think 2 minutes already, okay? I continue now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teaching is a process, like it or no. Teaching is not one way. If we say teaching is dispensing of knowledge, I'm sorry to say it's wrong. I'm sorry to say it's wrong. If you say teaching is sharing, possibly right, because share, I repeat, when they use the word share, involves two entities. You are nearly there, but the definition is not right. Definition not that's not teaching also. So you are there. When you say teaching is a process. Now, what is the process? Here, let me go through my slide. If I start there, I might miss something out, right? What is teaching? We teach our children. Teaching. We teach our neighbors. Teaching. Our children learn from us, but we don't teach them. I repeat. You know, children, bapa bore anak rintik. You all heard this pepatah. Sometimes in the
Okay,
house,
bro, pepatah.
you see your children, right? You have not taught them how to react sometimes. You know, bila
Yep.
bapa duduk kan, selalu bila baca buku, bapa kan,
Yeah.
they'll put a hand on top of their head. You have not taught your child, but your child is learning from you. I repeat, you have not taught. So every time
They
when a
are
child
observing,
baca
bro.
buku,
They are observing, bro.
they are observing. But are you teaching?
Yeah.
Are you
No.
teaching? No, you are not teaching,
No.
but they are observing from you. They, of course, they are learning,
Yep.
but you are not teaching. So is there a teaching process? No. Because why? When they observe, it's not teaching. There's something else we call learning. So what is the common elements involved? You see, teaching involves teacher, number one. Of course, you say lecturer, instructor, guru, whatever, must involve that. Number two, teaching must involve a student, a learner, somebody, one individual there. Tak cukup juga. Teaching must, M-U-S-T, involve interaction. Must involve interaction. Kalau tak ada interaction, not teaching, let me tell you, that become what? Lecture. I dispense my knowledge.
Lecture, yeah.
Day one kuliah, 100, 200 students. I present my views, lecture. I dispense my knowledge. I share my knowledge with my audience. Itu lecture. But now we are talking, so teaching must have interaction. But interaction, cukup ke? Interaction in what? So let me put some. Can there be teaching without student? I told just now, can never be. If there are no students, there's no teaching. Now, number two, can there be teaching when there are students but no teacher? Like just now, the example, some child observe what we are doing. There cannot be teaching, but there is learning. There's not teaching, but there's learning taking place. Number three, can there be teaching without a subject? Subject means content matters, content areas or whatever. Can there be? Same thing, kalau kita kata, can you teach swimming without water? So in other words, that means the element, there must be a teacher, must be a student, must have interaction, the most important thing, and there must have a content, a subject. Is that cukup? The current scenario, tak cukup. Because why? In an environment, kita perlu ada, what is teaching, you see, many people think, let me tell you the definition of what, whether YouTube sama dengan apa kata dah. Giving my knowledge, delivering knowledge, dispensing of knowledge, giving my input. Let me tell you, these are not teaching, by the way, this lecture. This is lecture. Just this is called lecture, okay? And what is teaching? The definition here. Content, that the arrow line is interaction. No interaction, not teaching. By the way, this is not what I'm telling now. The literature is telling. Again, don't think ini Paramji kata falsafah ajaran sesat. This is not what I'm telling. This is what the literature is telling. And this I got from literature.
But Prof, somehow or other, when we talk about the interaction, somehow very tough for us to get a good interaction between teachers and students. So what are your opinion about this, Prof? So because somehow or other we want to get the interaction, but somehow the students not really give us a very good positive interaction in the classroom. I think that when now currently we are doing everything online, I think it's much difficult. So how do you see it?
100%. What I believe, okay, what I do for my class. Again, I'm not prescribing for everybody, right? Begitu kuih, begitu acuannya, atau begitu acuan, begitu kuihnya. I'm prescribing for my class. My first class, when I meet my students, I tell them I'll be teaching the class. I expect all cameras to be open. Okay. If students cannot open the camera, there are because of data problems. Out of 25 students, not everybody got data problem. 1 or 2, they write to me, then I'll accept that. So in the class, let me tell you how I initiate interaction. Because I find it a class that don't have interaction, I'll get very sleepy. I like questions. Now, we cannot accept no interaction, what to do, saya ajar sajalah. Same thing, kalau kita dengan anak kita, kalau anak tak cakap dengan kita, kalau anak tak interact, do we diam saja? We have to make efforts how to interact with our children. Am I right? So I think it's not an excuse. But the question is, sekarang, we are in online now, becomes worse. Becomes worse. I enter classes, online classes, even practicum, I see all the cameras are off. The lectures cameras
sadly
off.
Yes.
I think something is not right. Just imagine, again go back, just imagine if our children, our child learning in school, semua kamera tutup, ada orang bunyi cakap-cakap, will you see not? Because when we teach, we must have the power of sight. I repeat, when we teach, we must have a power of sight. We have to look at something. Just imagine kita dengar radio, right? Kita dengar radio dengan kita tengok television, berbeza. Kinetic between visual. I think in my class, the first day, I will say, I expect discussion in the class. No interaction, I will stop. When I ask a question, kalau dia tak jawab, I berhenti saja. Then they will initiate, because let me tell you, yesterday, bila kita ada perbincangan dengan majlis profesor tu, the majlis perwakilan pelajar said, sir, one of the issue we facing, pelajar adalah malu. Yes, they are shy. So we know they are shy. What can we do? Rather rasa malu dalam kelas daripada di luar ramai. Rather you feel shy in your class than being like shy in the way we speak outside. Let me tell you, I think we can change. We can change the interaction and we cannot give excuses. And one more thing, what I noticed it, 14 weeks class, 14 weeks ada gunakan video. That is not teaching, by the way. I repeat one more time. If we have 14 weeks class, 14 weeks we don't see the students, and 14 weeks just submit videos. And students like that, by the way. Students like to give video, because why? We have put inside their mind the videos of how to solve the problem, and the same question going to come up for your exam. So of course they like it. But if we start changing the higher, because why? Videos only send the Bloom taxonomy or level 1, level 2. When you want to do the evaluation synthesis, you must have discussion. When we do our, very clear to see whether we have that knowledge or no is when we write our literature review. Literature review, I see so many people write copy paste. When the part to come to synthesis, where we are lacking. So we must ask ourselves. So here, I go back here. Online classes, we are facing a difficulty now. You will notice it why I'm relating this to our open book assessment. It's very much related. So teaching is defined as the interaction of a student and a teacher over a subject in a setting. Our setting now is online setting. Previously, our setting was face-to-face setting. So this setting, remember, setting in the 1960s, we'll sit in a class where the chairs were wooden chairs, sit on the floor. In the 2000, we'll sit on the chair that is comfortable. Now we'll sit on a chair that is comfortable with air condition. The setting changes by the way. Setting for those on rural and urban different. Those from rural areas, they will sit a floor in a hall shared by so many people. And let me tell you, we are intruding into the livelihood of the families. We are intruding into livelihood of the family. First, the students in the campus. Now, when we in the camp, when children in the campus, the parents are the control of the house. They can do whatever they like. Now, when the schooling goes to the families in the house, we are telling our father and mother, jangan buat bising. What is this? We are intruding to their life, by the way. So we must learn how to respect that, because that is their premise. Your university, that our premise. So as lecturers, we must also sometimes students cannot on camera. I understand. I don't blame them because we are intruding into the family, right? So now the box represents the setting. Now, no teachers teaches in a vacuum. So what is teaching? Teaching involves a teacher trying to teach someone. Can be a student, can be our child, can be our neighbor, something. The content must be something, no something, not teaching. That means quiet and somewhere. So this is the definition of teaching. So I am taking this definition to go into the assessment now. Engagement. I think engagement is very, very important. Engagement, my latest findings found out when you talk about data, finding says, you see in the classroom, engagement. Who are the students who sit in front of the class? Majority of them are good students. Who are the, I'm not generalizing it. Finding shows the good students are the one always sit the front 2 rows, and the naughty students are the ones sitting the back 2 rows. So who are the one who doing all the interaction in the class? Majority, the front 2 students, the front row. So who are doing the engagement? The good students. And who are the one doing listening at the back? Tak masuk kuliah, tak ambil nota? The back student. So now, and we always say sometimes, we always say students are shy. Students are shy to talk in the classroom. Now we have online. If the cameras are off, students should be able to talk, right? If they don't talk yet, something is not right then. If they don't talk, something not right. When we engage with students, then we can enhance their motivation to learn. If we want to motivate the student, tapi tak engage, boleh tak? We want to motivate our children, tapi tak engage dengan mereka, impossible. So that's why the interaction, the engagement we have, let me tell you, when we engage with our students, they'll feel so much better. Good work, the word, good work, very well, continue. I think you can do it. If they fail also doesn't matter. But when we engage with them, don't worry, you fail. Recently I got one student who failed twice. You failed twice. But I told her, you failed, but you are learning. Compared to first and second, you are learning. Don't give up. This is part of life. Doesn't mean you get an A or be successful. So when we engage with them, we are motivating them, reduce the sense of isolation when we engage with them. Isolation is one of the biggest issue now facing. We must engage with our students. This will improve their performance. Now I'm telling engagement, interaction with students is one of the predictor for performance. Okay, teaching, learning, all are related. Kita dah tengah-tengah itu. That tengah-tengah itu, this Venn diagram. When we teach, we are learning also. Let me tell you, we are not telling we are the best teachers. Kita teach pun kita setengah, kita belajar, we learn from students. And this all comes together. When I say here, what really make learners learn? The way the course is organized. How we organize our course. The 14 weeks. The teaching approach. The method we are using in our class. All cameras are off. You think the approach is fruitful? The commitment of the instructor. This is everything can change from the commitment. Of course, the way the course is organized 14 weeks in the teaching approach, but commitment of the instructor, especially during current online. And this one very related to assessment also. The material learners are exposed to, the peer group learners find themselves with, and the physical infrastructure, the number and nature of assignments given. This makes a lot of difference at current time. That's why now, Bagai, you are coming up with how many assignments we ask students to do in each semester. Each semester, students take 4 to 5 courses. Each course, just imagine, we always do our course. We always say we want students to learn, and we give them 4 assignments. 4 only dulu je, we will say, during my time, during my university, I do 5, 6, kan buat 4. You are taking 5 papers, 4 courses, 4 assignments. If there are 4 courses, 5 courses, you got 16 to 20 assignments. Where got time for them to learn? Then we get sekarang nowadays students are tak baca lah. Of course they tak baca when you are having 16 assignments in a semester of 14 weeks. 14 weeks, 16, and one assignment. Let me tell you, I'm doing this PowerPoint webinar, right? It took me at least 72 to 96 hours to do. Students got assignment,
Yep.
they do in one. It takes time. So you think I have time? I have to read. I have to do. You see, the last 3 days, my clock off, meetings and this one. I didn't do any writing, nothing. Students are in the same boat also. Students are also 16 assignments in a semester. And then we say, we only giving hanya 4 saja. We put ourselves into their shoes, then we will know. Don't think like masa dulu kita. Masa dulu semua history. The past is history.
Correct, Prof. I guess, Prof, that for your slide presentation, I think that the preparation time is more higher than the actual you presented.
Very true, Prisham, very true. Yeah. That's why people say the past is history, the future is mystery. The past is history, we learn from that. The future is mystery. The current is the present time. So please use this current time for our students. So based on your previous experience, all of us has gone through teachers in their lifetime. Some of them remember an excellent good teacher. What are the qualities that combine to create an excellent, memorable teacher? Okay, one more question. Can you, sitting there, remember one teacher, your best teacher, from your tadika hingga, you all have got PhD already for how many years? 25, 30 years. Remember one teacher? Done already, right? Just remember one teacher who you think up till today, that is my best teacher in my life so far. Now, identify, put in your head. Now, name me one quality why you like that teacher. One quality saja. Okay, can you please put inside the YouTube now? One quality of the teacher you like the best. One quality, I know you like so one quality, one word. Just one word. Don't give
one
me
word.
satu karangan. Don't give me satu karangan. One word only. One quality.
One quality, Prof. One quality, please, audience dekat YouTube. Satu quality, one quality you like about teachers.
Your best teacher.
So
your
we are
best
waiting
teacher.
for the answer. Yeah, your best teachers, yes. Okay. So macam mana yang lain? One quality you like about the teachers, the best teachers. Alright, the best teachers. Prof, I think that I already read one or two article about online learning. Macam Prof katakan tadi, the interaction, because of what? Because of people like to have the social interaction previously, because of dulu kita ada social present, Prof. But currently when it comes to ODL, the social presence dah tak ada, dah tak berlaku, Prof. I think that that's the reason why we got a very less interaction between teachers and students, even though between peers juga, Prof, ada masalah juga in terms of the social presence. Alright, so sebab saya rasa mungkin because of that yang kadang-kadang interaksi sewaktu secara online ini kadang-kadang kurang berkesan kepada setengah pelajar. Okay, Prof. Kalau kita lihat, Prof, ada beberapa diorang berikan, Prof. Ada yang kata attentive, fluent, concerned, energetic. Tapi kalau saya dapat lihat kat sini ada banyak yang tulis kat situ attentive. Ada yang kata garang. Ada yang kata empathy, engaging, kind-hearted, caring. Tapi banyak yang sebut berkaitan dengan attentive dan juga engaging some sort and caring, Prof.
Very good. You see, this is what the literature is telling also. You see now, you do one research, that's what the answer gives. I give you an example in jawapan saya.
All right.
The quality that come out, the first one. With this, this one, this research was from the university perspective. I repeat, this finding was from university perspective. Now, of course, when we'll say our kindergarten teacher was so caring, or our primary school teacher was so empathy, and our from two teacher was so caring, empathy, and respect my views, correct. But this findings was from university students. Number one, knowledge. Because this one was for when we asked what the lectures you like your best during your university time. You know what they say? My lectures content, knowledge, and pedagogy, how they teach. You see, students, they come to university, of course, so-called to get the knowledge. The knowledge from the professors and the lecturers also, because these lectures are so far the giver of knowledge, we say, right? So these people, the first thing, because let me tell you, when we are in schools, we look at the teacher's quality. I like the teacher, like so humorous, have so much fun. I like the teacher. The teacher is so empathical person, very caring. When you go to university, the quality changes, but it remains. But the top quality expectation of students is your knowledge. They come, the lecture is, you notice it when we see what the lecture is very good, his knowledge is very good. So it's content, knowledge seeking, and next, how the lectures teachers in the class. These two are the first perspective. The second one, the communication skills. How the lecturer communicate with us. Very, very important. The skills communication is so important as one of the criteria of a good quality teacher. The third one, interest. The teacher is showing interest in the subject that he or she is teaching. If the teachers themselves does not show it, come to the class, slumber. Okay, today we're going to learn calculus 1. But bring a book or not? No, get out from my class. Do a homework? Never, get out from my class. This student we asked to get out from the class. Kalau satu kali tak buat, janganlah marah. 2 kali buat, janganlah. I remember one incident when I was in section 17. This student always come late for class. No, sorry, my first class. The class starts at 8:10. I masuk 8:10, I tutup pintu. I masuk 8:10, I tutup pintu. I lock. Some students got front door and back door. I lock both doors. I expect my students to be punctual by time 8:10 and I'm in the class hall. So the students, sometimes they'll come, they'll walk slowly in, whatever. I lock both doors. I did not open the door for the next 5 minutes. They are waiting outside. Cikgu, let me tell you, my future classes all, they are always before me. The first impression in the class is the most important one. Okay, I go back. So the interest you show in the subject, that's the most important thing. If you don't show interest, students will not show interest. That's why I say, if you want to be good to others, you be good to yourself. If you want to help others, you help yourself. If you want to give charity to others, take charity. Charity begins at home. So interest is very, very important. And the fourth one, respect for students, especially university students here. There are 2 types of students, introvert, extrovert students in your class. The extrovert are the one, you tell them all, hey, you tak buat, malas lah you, they will accept it. But the students who are introvert, you tell them one wrong word, they will not communicate with you again. The introvert. So be careful. That's why we must learn of the psychological aspect of every individual. Like our children now. You tell them we got katakan ada 3 anak. Satu anak main-main cakap marah pun tak apa. Lagi satu, you marah sikit, will not talk to you. Ada
sensitive.
Very sensitive. And we are
very sensitive.
Betul. 2 anak pun berbeza juga. Not Pole dengan South Pole.
Yeah.
2 different anak. Correct or not? What about our class got 20 students? If our children, 2 pun kita akan ambil also. Then your wife will say, jangan cakap dengan dia macam itu. Don't talk to the child like that. Very sensitive. What about our students in the class? I think we must be careful. We must know our students of their nature. So, respect. These core qualities are the essential of a good instructor. My question here, do we have these qualities as a lecturer? If we do not have them, we have to relook into that. Kalau kita tak ada, kita perlu tengok. So quality teacher who have a good command of these 2, I repeat, who love to speak and communicate, student love teachers who can speak and communicate very well. Student love teachers who are caring and empathy. Let me tell you, empathy is very important. And
Empathy.
empathy should be
Yes.
part of our life. It's a seamless part of humanity. Masa COVID ini, we
Correct,
must
Prof.
understand that.
So I think that
That
most of the participant mentioned about the empathy too, Prof.
100%.
Right? The one of the
Very true.
quality, yeah.
This empathy, we as lecturers must show our students. We have our students whose family has lost life. We have our students whose family has lost income, lost job, and you see some students, they have to leave their but to go and earn money. We have to feel empathy for them. And when you show empathy, when you talk to students, sometimes students, they cry in front of you. But when you share their burden, because let me tell you, whatever is in the heart is meant to be told. I repeat, whatever is in the heart is meant to be told. Now, we always kadang-kadang kita pendam. That's why people like in American is very good for counseling. They go normally because why? They want to take out apa kita ada. Students masuk dalam kelas pendam banyak, especially at current time. We wouldn't know these students' parents lost their job. Right? Now, they are suffering at home. And they come for the class.
Yep.
Dr. Paramji kata, buka ke kamera, buka ni, buat kerja ni. How will they feel? So I say the empathy must be there. We must know. That's why I say teacher is not an easy job. Teaching is not an easy job. People think teaching is professional job. So bukan senanglah jadi seorang guru. So now,
betul, Prof. Even though, Prof, bila kita tak ada empathy, Prof, and then I think that's the reason why kenapa student kita mudah stress and depressed because of that. So I think that it's very important to have the empathy and try to complement each other. Then maybe we can solve certain issue and certain problem, Prof.
We can help.
Right.
We will say we will solve.
Yeah, we can help.
Help the student. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And also teacher create fun and humor. Let me tell you, this must be learned. I ask a question. Can you all tell a joke? Students, you ask students in the class, if you tell a joke and students don't laugh, you do not have that. Let me tell you, humor is also part of the class to light up the class. And one way, there are some instructors who naturally are funny. When they talk, students laugh.
Yes,
then they learn. But there are some people who are so strict when they try to create a joke, tapi tak ada orang ketawa. On the punchline tak ketawa. There are. And let me tell you, students love teachers who create fun and humor in the class. Just imagine your class for 2 hours, monotone, senyap saja, tak ada apa-apa laughter. Let me tell you, something's not right. You got the content knowledge, you got the empathy, but you don't have the fun and humor in the teaching. Let me tell you, something's not right. If you do not have, go and learn. Kalau tak tahu, bukanlah video beri satu, jangan letak 14-15 minit. Video 1-2 minutes to create fun. I think we must learn that. If I have time afterwards, I will tell one joke. Kalau ada masa lepas ini, why everything
okay, bro.
Lepas kalau ada masa. Okay. Student
okay,
love
bro,
okay. Respect them. Okay. Y'all were thinking why I'm not going into my core. I'm coming to the open book. If we want our students to thrive, remember the words we speak shape the person they become. The words we speak shape the person they become. As someone said, whether you think they can or you think they can't, you're right. These words we tell on somebody, right? They will remember for the rest of your life. You know, students are coming, Dr. Paramji, dulu you beritahu saya ini. I have one student previously, let me tell you, let's tell. But sometimes story, this student was a PKPG student in 2004, 2005. She was very weak in the class, very weak. And her peers were very good students, very good students. So when she's quite a weak student, but very hardworking, positive attitude, but weak. The other students are very very fast, so they do not discuss with her anything. So she feels isolated. Hardworking student always ask questions. Another better student, they are smart, so they always discuss themselves. So when they finish, she got a second lower. The others got first up, second upper, and first class. And so the floor of first class, second upper, they among themselves. So she said, "Now, Dr. Paramji, saya nak tunjuk pada mereka lah." I said, "You are good because your attitude covers everything." Then after around 6 months, Dr. Paramjit, saya mau buat masters. I said, Tania, bagus. Then I say, I'll share with the other group. Dr. Paramjit, jangan beritahu mereka. I want to do on my own, saya nak tunjuk mereka. You see, after 2 years, he finished the masters. Then when we inform them, the other student was so surprised. Wow, dia sudah buat masters. Then she says, sekarang saya mau buat PhD. You see, now what I'm trying to say, there are no such thing as weak students or good students. The attitude covers everything, and the words we tell them. Do we have these qualities? Like it or no, our SUFO, let me tell you, you sitting down here, part of our SUFO will give us the answers. Ada orang complain pasal SUFO. You can complain about SUFO. University are trying something, but out of the 3 bahagians of SUFO, one is infrastructure. The one part is about the lecturer. We no need to say the markah ada 3 bahagian. The students, if one student tell you tak bagus, 2 students tak bagus, kalau 50% you tak bagus, let me tell you, you tak bagus lah. Something not right, we must change. So students are giving what they see after 14 weeks. So I think we have to look at this quality. Now, purpose of assessment, let me tell you. Assessment drives instruction. Assessment drives learning. Assessment informs students their progress. And assessment informs teaching practice. Why assessment? Supposed to be the other way around. Supposed to be instruction drive assessment. Driving life assessment, because the front run should be the instruction. But we are doing like that because we don't blame student belajar untuk exam saja. We always say students are learning because exam. Why blame the students? We blame our way, how we approach. If you blame assessment, you are the instructor in your faculty, can be changed. Of course, we can change. We know sometimes when I was in the faculty, saya selalu complain dulu. Now, when you go the upper level, then you see if there's something is not right, you change it. Can you change it? Of course, you can change, right? You bring to the faculty management, I want to change, bring up. Of course, people will listen to you. So now, examination method and question, if you know how students learn. Facts and details. The right one, you see now, notice it, the Bloom taxonomy coming in. Orang kata, yang knowledge, remembrance tu sebelah kiri, sikit. The whole picture, the starting, the application, analysis, ni semua Bloom punya kerja lah. Correct now, we have seen Bloom or this one. So the left one is associated with memory. The right one is associated with so-called critical thinking. Okay, so this you can see left and right. Open one. Sekarang you kata, apa Dr. Paramjit sudah berapa lama baru mau cakap? Let me tell you, it's all related. We can only implement this. We have to change whatever we are facing it. Open book system. Closed book versus open book. Let me tell you, the word came from open book, simply means student. Let me tell you, this open book has been in existence in 60s and 70s. Open book, you can go and take the exam and open your book. Dulu ada buku saja, mana ada internet. Let me tell you, in the 60s, 50s, no internet. Closed book, you cannot refer to anything when you do for your test. So we have been doing all the while closed book. Open book came out when people say, when you want higher order thinking question, they can refer. Like example, you want to find tak payah hafal formula. With the formula, I can go deeper. Higher level of thinking. Open exams on the right, especially at current time. Because of ODR, those days we have the exam 2 hours, 3 hours. Now, I don't blame the instructor, we have to change. Because why? How to sit for 200, 300 students. So the majority are doing ongoing assessment. One of them is open book. Open book are similar to traditional examination, I'm telling. Let me tell you, open book, this word is my word. Are they similar? Similar. Both also are the book. The different one is open, one is closed. But let me tell you, framework, closed book. Bloom brought up his taxonomy of cognitive growth in the 60s, 70s. He brought up his cognitive growth. We have been applying all the 6 levels of Bloom taxonomy previously. All of us, like it or no, in closed book. Now, all of a sudden, when open book came out, we always say open book is memory of formula. We memorize and we spill out. I beg to differ, whoever says that. I repeat, all those great thinkers of the world, great thinkers, they came from open book, they came from closed book system. Closed book. Closed book, the book, that means you are not allowed to refer to notes and answer the question. Yes, that involves memorization and so forth. But memorization is part and parcel to develop the next step. It involved, that's why you see let me tell the difference between culture of Hong Kong, China, and Europe. Again, Hong Kong, China, and Europe. The difference is in US and Europe, they popularize this idea. Let me tell you, open book is good. Let me tell you both school of thought. Because why? When we use closed book, the stigma come traditional. When we use open book, new era. Let me tell you, it depends on the situation. Hong Kong, China, they are doing so well. They are doing extremely well in economy. Let me tell you, theirs are closed book, full stop. Theirs are closed book, full stop. In math and science studies, who's doing the best in the world? Korea, Shanghai, Hong Kong. They are doing best in the world. Theirs are closed book. So there's a balance, what I'm trying to say. Don't either this or that. You need balance of both. The major difference, the open book allowed to bring their textbook, notes, other reference material into examination situation while answering the questions, whereas the opposite in closed book exam. I've gone through an open book, by the way. I've gone through when I was in US PhD, and I thought I enjoyed it. Open book, my first time when I said open book, I tak pernah dengar perkataan open book. So I'll give open book test in US, Wow, you can bring it anything, any book, except no human contact and no referring to online. And I remember that text of statistics, I brought in 11 books. So went to this library. Inside a box, I took my question paper. You can start the question from 10 o'clock and must submit inside the box by 7 p.m. at night. You can do anything but no human contact. I was so happy. 11 books I took, 11 books. Let me tell you, the 7 hours, I think 6 hours I spent looking at books saja. Jawapan memang tak ada. 6 hours I spent on the book, searching and searching and searching, whether the answers were all in our head. They are very smart, but the open book is how we manage our time. I already set the scene for what is open book and closed book. Now, let me go back here. Because we always associate the latest thing in open book, 21st century. Closed book, 20th, 19th century. Repeat, open book, they always associate 21st century. Let me tell you, what is 21st century? 20th century started during my time, 1900 to 2000. That's the 20th century. That means from 1900 to 2000. That is 20th century. 21st century started on 2000 and above. So I've gone through 20th century. I'm not going through 19th century. So now, this is the definition for 90. Some people do not know ini lah. Saya tanya student saya, apa mana 19th century? Dia tak tahu. Then they go to Dr. Google. Ini Dr. Google, one question come on. Google make us dumber or smarter? Let me tell you. What is 19th century? Go internet, Google dapat jawapan. Besok tanya sekali lagi, dia tak tahu. So now, sometimes this Google is not good lah, because they won't make you think 19th century start from 1800, 20th century start from 19,000, 21st century start from 2000. You see, we are learning a pattern here. So sometimes it's good for us to look and think about what the numbers are telling us. Okay, nampak kelas ini. This is the so-called 20th century teacher-centered learning. Okay, let me tell a true picture. This is 20th century picture. Dalam 20th century, we say teacher-centered. They say teacher lectures. They say student listen and learn. They say textbook-centered or notes, paper and pencil, written assessment, very little creativity. Ini orang kata 20th century. Okay lah, saya tengok what's the difference between 20th century and 21st century. You tengok lah. So again here, it's always associated yang history semua tak bagus. Let me tell you, 20th century, teacher-centered. 20th century, student listen and learn. Textbook, paper and pencil, written assessment, very creative. Ini panggil 20th century classes. Can you see or not? These true pictures, These are all true pictures. The picture on your extreme right was University of London, extreme right picture or University of London, 19th centuries, right? These are all. What's the difference between this 19th and 20th century and current century? What's the difference? You all tell me now. You see, we always associate, let me tell you, the perception and the reality. There's a perception and reality. This is 20th and 19th century class and lecture hall. Ini sekarang saya tunjukkan yang 21st century lah. Ini 21st century class. Warna sudah ada dinding, sekarang ada warna, ada kuning, hijau.
But colour sikit, Prof.
Colour sikit, but lecture still standing in front, Same as just now.
Yeah, still the same.
You see now,
Still the
now
same,
better. Sekarang kursi sudah semakin bagus. Right? Earlier was wooden chair. Tengok sekarang ada aircon, sekarang sudah ada keluar lah, nampak?
Betul.
Tengok berapa cantiknya kuliah-kuliah ni.
Dah macam theatre hall, Prof.
Theatre hall sekarang. But what's the difference between 20th and 19th century and 21st century? Same thing. Sekarang ada aircon. Sekarang kursi lebih bagus lah. Dulu, let me tell you. Here, you know when McDonald's, their chairs, when you go and sit down, they make a hard plastic chair, the material. Why? You go to KFC, they are made. So you know why? They don't want you to be very comfortable when you sit down. After 1 hour, please get out from here, let other people come in. The chairs are not comfortable. Now our current chairs are so comfortable. We are so in aircon. I always tell this one, when you learn history, people say sejarah boring. Nak belajar sejarah sangat boring. Lepas tu, we will tell in the house we see children, bila dia belajar satu mata pelajaran yang boring, dia akan beritahu, mak saya tak suka duduk atas meja, saya suka duduk atas katil. So that particular individual will sit on the katil. Belajar sejarah. Katil, sejarah. Mana lebih boring? Sejarah boring. Katil, comfortable. Apa akan berlaku semakin lama, dia akan semakin turun, buku akan tutup, dia akan tidur. That's what happened because the comfortness where we are in. Same thing here. Sekarang ada IT kan? You look at that, what happened? Every lecture hall, students, not in lecture, even within us, when we go for any seminar, I think 50% they are looking at our handphone. Like it or not, this what's going on. Ini betul comfortable, nampak tak? Sekarang sangat comfortable now. Those sitting at the back akan tidur. This is face-to-face lecture. Ini betul lah, semalam belajar sampai pukul 12 malam, dia tidur sekarang. This is the scenario of 21st century. I'm not generalizing it. What I'm trying to say.
But Prof, but meaning Prof, that too much comfort also can become distraction for others.
100%. But have a moderate. You know what I'm trying to say? Because when I read research articles, I get very agitated when they always associate the history 19th, 20th century as traditional. Perkataan traditional, makna dia perlu tukar. Itu makna dia, which I don't like this idea. I think traditional dengan yang baru, we have to look at both sides. Dua-dua pun penting. So, if 21st century student-centered, is this still teacher lectures? Students still listen and learn. Still textbook, still paper and pencil. Same thing. Tak ada perbezaan banyak. Out of all the, maybe 5%, 10% will change. We are still at the same, whether 19th century, 20th century, or 21st century. Now, ini beza dia. 20th century and 21st century. I'm not generalizing it, but I'm generalizing the attitude of the learners. Because in that part, look at the attitude there. We always complain in our class, sekarang pelajar tak dengar. Because we giving us so much comfort. A lot of comfort. Everything a student asks me, do we have to give? Yes, I'm not telling you. I say we as lecturers must be careful now. There's no interaction because why? The students are so busy talking with peers and using other devices. How much has changed? Now my first step, perception of the teaching, reflection of the reality. Look at this. Perception of the teaching of 20th century and a reflection of the reality of 21st century. Is there any difference or not? Just reflect on that. Perceptions of the teaching, reflection of the reality between 20th and 21st century. Now 20th century learning, this is traditional. Let me tell you, 20th century, is this called traditional? Is this called traditional? Very often you see that, very often you see that, especially Hong Kong. I've been traveling Hong Kong and China. You look, when people in the book, in the train, they'll be reading. You like it or no, those days people will read something. Nowadays, 21st century, they're handful. And let me tell you, this is majority. Is handphone important? Yes. I'm not telling one trying to say when there are new things coming inside, we must learn how to adapt with the situation. So because we always say 20th century, 19th century, traditional, I don't think that was more advanced than now in terms of the time taken for reading, learning, and whatever. When devices come on, we learn a lot from devices, no doubt about it. But how we adapt to the situation, perception of technology, reflection of reality. Technology important? Yes. Just imagine we do not have this ODI in place. We do not have Google. We do not have Google. We do not have Google Meet, University creating new features. There's no way we can do teaching. Technology important, but also reflect the reality. That it provide a platform for us to teach. Now, closed book, traditional method katakan. It tends to depict the notion something need to change. Do you agree? Think about it. I'm not asking you yes or no. Closed book test. Is it a myth? Okay, this one literature says, students memorize knowledge or information. Is it true? Yes, I agree. Closed book test. Is it a myth or not? I said memorize knowledge or information. Yes, closed book, memorize. Pay more attention to facts. Agree. Study on only assigned text. Agree. Apply surface study. Agree. But postpone exam preparation until end of semester. Betul. But let me tell you, examination without referring to books will only test student every certain memory. Agree. I agree 100%. Look at my condition. Last one. Memorize. Pay attention on fact. Ni close book Is it a myth? I agree it's a myth. Can this be memorized? Saya tanya soalan Boleh memorize ini cikgu? Ini close book test. This test was given in a class in 1930 to a mathematician who was age of 6 years old. Closed book test, tak ada open book test. Let me tell you again the same question, pelajar tak boleh jawab. This question was given to PSLE in Singapore Primary 5 question, a closed book test. Closed book test, right? It was given in 2003 when Singapore started the new curriculum of problem solving. Now, I give these questions to my students. My condition is solve this question and explain it to a primary 6 child. I repeat, solve this question and explain it to a primary 6 child. No, they can hardly do. They only can do formula, memorize the formula. But this question, nothing to do with formula. So what I'm trying to say is, closed book test is, okay, ini saya tak mau pergi very panjang cerita. Okay. Open book exam, learners are expected to apply method in new situation. Ini open book lah. Tadi closed book, memorize. Sekarang apply method in new situation, analyze elements, synthesize, evaluate using your material evidence. Now we have two school of thoughts lah. Now sekarang open book, closed book. Orang kata, you see, when I see this one, I disagree with all the statement. It all depends on the lecturer. Memorize knowledge, information. Who say memorize knowledge? If you ask question of memorize knowledge, of course, memorize knowledge. Now we have 6, the taxonomy Bloom. Why can't you use all of 5? Why the literature is telling us closed book is memorized? I disagree with this statement. It all depends, unless the lecturer is the one who asks memorize question. Pay more attention on facts. Come on. When you want to know about synthesis, you must know about the facts first. You must know about definition. Then slowly you go according to cognitive growth. Study only assigned text. I disagree with this. If you give a closed book test and you give a multiple choice, you give 15 question multiple choice. Multiple choice is good. You know why? I'm not telling all tests are good. Multiple choice is good. You make them study everything. They cannot spot the questions. They cannot spot the question. So that's why when we give closed book test, you must have multiple choice. You must have questions like a cognitive growth of level 5. Is closed book good? I say 100% good. But now we have open book. Let's adapt it. Rather than say closed book is no good, open book is good. The literature is sounding to say closed book itu traditional. Open book itu era 21st century. Which is true. I won't disagree. When I take this question cannot be memorized. Ini open book, apply. Yeah, you look at all this one, it came from where? The growth 4th, 5th, 6th of Bloom taxonomy. I'll show you the Bloom taxonomy. Literature suggests open book is the highest evaluation level, conceptual, solving problem, almost perfect. Yes, when you give case studies. When you give case studies involve real situation where you can express that in their finding. Agree 100%. I'll tell you what limitation. Do you agree? I think I agree. I will definitely agree with this one. No doubt about it, open book. You can test deeper knowledge. And these people say, ini saya nak impress you, but these people say, I read their work, okay? This is Bloom taxonomy. Bloom taxonomy was created in 1956. We start from knowledge, comprehension, we pakai dalam 50, 60, 17. We learn all this one from universities or school day. Now 2001 is similar, but they change from noun to verb. Exactly same. So the literature telling us that remember and understand only applies in closed book, analyze, evaluate, and creation is only in an open book. I beg to differ lah. I really beg to differ lah. So kadang-kadang bila kita baca literature kan, take with a pinch of salt. There is an agenda why going with this one. We take with a pinch of salt. Is open book good? Yes, open up your mind. 100% better than closed book. I'm not telling that. What are open book examination? Designed in ways that allows to refer to class notes, textbooks, or other approved material while unsecret. Okay. Now, open book started with this. But now the issue comes worse when online takes place. Online web learning. Are they allowed to access the internet? Because now internet has everything. So that becomes the issue now. Open book was a novel, very novel concept. But when the internet came to the picture, just understand everything is in the internet. Dr. Google got multiple PhDs. Dr. Google multiple PhDs, artificial intelligence, so smart, so brilliant. He can answer all the questions because the artificial intelligence is given by smart people to feed into the AI. But we must set the question that is not able to answer by Dr. Google. Kita boleh buat. But do we have that knowledge to set that type of question? We ask ourselves now. Open book is 100% very good. You don't have to test your. So sometimes children, especially when I teach statistics, I will give them the formulas because I do not want the formula to memorize. I want them to the application. Open book is good because you can go to a higher level of cognitive thinking. And open book can also mean that students are provided with the exam question prior to writing examination. I give question today, I collect tomorrow. This open book happens when, let me tell you, when I was in US, they gave us a preliminary examination. When you do your PhD prelim, so each instructor will give you a question. He will tell you, I give you this room. You go into this room, morning till night. He'll give me a question. Then you can do, but no referring to any human contact or computer. So they can give you a test paper one day before. Open book, apply higher thinking. Yes, I agree 100%. Study cost benefit depth, 100% I agree. Read external sources, 100%, no doubt about it. Interrelate information acquired, yes. So these are what open book can do. I think it's very good. It's especially very good for higher order thinking skills. Now my question I want to ask each of us. We always say as lecturers, we are implementing HOTS in our curriculum. In our PLOs and CLOs, you doing curriculum with the tick, tick, tick. Itu kita cuma main-main saja. Semua main-main saja. Now, if we really say we are implementing HOTS, can you write the HOTS type of question for open book? If you can do that, these answers must not be available in the net. If you can do that, it's excellent. So this is a test. Now, I'm not blaming students, by the way, students, I'm not blaming, so I'm blaming the lecturers. If we ourselves, do we have the capability to do open book exam? Jangan kata bagus tak bagus. Do we have the capability? Let me tell you, if you want the capability, you must be very strong in higher order thinking questions. Kita kata soalan kita higher order. Tapi siapa cakap? We say our question are HOTS. We cannot lah jago kampung. We must ask another person, it's our question. I will say how to do open, I'll give examples, all right? So for me, the first responsibility is to ensure students know, understand, and apply. This closed book can do. Know, understand, and apply. The first three taxonomies of Bloom. This one closed book can answer this question. Then if they can truly solve problems using fundamental principle, then allow them to use notes and address a more complex problem. Let them bring notes. You have already discussed in the class, right? And now you go to higher level, but again, the first 2-3 days must already know. Kalau itu formula pun mereka tak tahu how to apply. Tak guna, buang masa buat yang tu. Again, when you want to do open book, must understand level 1, level 2, level 3 of Bloom, they must already know. It must be on their fingertips. Now, how to make it more applicable in terms of synthesizing it at the highest level. So you cannot say, I want this, I want that. Must be together. If you want open book, no 100% open book must have the first part on closed book. Must have, because why? Unless you can say my students have mastered the understanding and the application, they are already done already. Then let them bring notes inside. Okay. One major problem is that students don't need to memorize basic information. Itu OB kata. But let me tell you, I'll disagree with that statement. I said factual knowledge is so important. Factual knowledge is so important because the most influential aspect of allowing students to seriously engage in critical thinking is the factual knowledge. Kalau you factual knowledge pun tak ada cakap, let's say example I give you. Teaching. Let's have a debate about teaching. If we do not have the factual knowledge about teaching, what debate do we want to do? If we cannot define what is teaching and you have a debate, other people, you must go back to definitely the same thing. Let me tell you. As an instructor, as a learner and individual, we always do not know the basic. Example, I give a question. Whenever I go and do research class for PhD student in UiTM, I'll ask them two questions. First one, what's the meaning of research? And number two, scientific. What's the meaning of scientific? They cannot answer the question. The first chapter of every research book, research and scientific. And the word scientific, ada makna dia. The meaning of scientific is number one, that area can be scrutinized by the community of researchers. Number two, it can be replicated. Itu two definition of scientific. So once you take your work is scientific, how we make our work scientific? We publish papers. That's why they expect us to publish papers. When scientific accepted to journals, it becomes scientific. Because why? It has already been scrutinized by your research committee. Tak cukup. The second one, it must be able to be replicated. Example I give you. 7 years ago, stem cells. Stem cells were one of the biggest area in the world, you know. At that time, US, UK, all fighting for stem cells, whatever. One professor from Korea, he made these findings with his PhD student. When he made his findings, wow, was published in a journal of Nature, I think so, not one the top journal in the world. When you publish in the top journal of the world, the whole world look at Korea. How come US and Europe cannot find the finding? And they found this one in Korea. When they look at it, was scrutinized, was accepted in journal. But however, when they try to replicate the findings, they couldn't replicate it. You know what happened? That particular student PhD, he fabricated the data. When you fabricate the data, cannot be replicated. When they found that findings cannot be replicated, nowadays when you do research, the journal asks you, can you support your data together with it if they want to check one more time? And let me tell you what happened to that professor. The professor was sacked from the university. After 3 years, he committed suicide. He cannot face the shame. So this is what I'm trying to say here. These all facts are very important. We must educate ourselves. What kind of resources can examine his open book? Allows you to take notes, tag material into exam. Yes, can. Again, two tags. Number one, you can give them a test for 2 hours. Open book, you can take a notes, I give 2 hours open book, can. Or number two, you can give them a test in the morning and collect 8 o'clock at night, can. Number three, you can give them a question for today and collect tomorrow or 2 days, can. This is called open book. There's no one definition say how. There's two types. Either give them a short duration, long duration, depends on you. Problem is Dr. Google is looking at you. Dr. Google got all your answers now. Now the question is, you do open book. Kalau Dr. Google ada jawapan open book, itu tak ada jadi open book, itu jadi Dr. Google's book. Itu Dr. Google's book, so you cannot use open book because itu Dr. Google punya buku. How can you take Dr. Itu panggil plagiarize. So, what kind of question must an open book exam have? I give example. Ini saya telah 6th level, alright. Analyze. Ini nampak macam senang, no? Copy and paste. Analyze, apply knowledge, think. We are very good at this. Let me tell you, this I got from some literature. On paper, very simple question. Open book examinations work only when answers cannot be readily extracted from the material. There's a clause, condition. You ambil loan bank, ada condition, this is the condition. If you can satisfy this condition, you can do open book. So now the question is, can you do open book? 100%, please do. I think university will ask you to do. But that question here is only work when answers cannot be readily extracted from the material. It can be extracted, bukan open book. Itu panggil ajaran sesat kita buat. We giving students question, ada jawapan. Learning not taking place. So open book is good, 100%. If the answers are not available in the net. Now, I give you an example open book which I've done before. So look at this one. If you all can read. This question, ini bila saya balik saya PhD about cognitive thinking lah. I get student article to read. Let me tell you, this question was given to a different university for masters and PhD. I was invited to give an open book test, was quite some time ago. You see this one, the lecture was already given week 2 and week 3, discussed already. Then, to ensure a strong connection with these two words, ini perkataan kan linking sign daripada ayat yang digunakan book. So, dia sudah baca. This student have read this one. Now, discuss what he meant by linking sign between these two concepts and how it's related to a learning of mathematics. Let me tell you, jawapan dalam thesis tak ada lah. Jawapan mana-mana pun tak ada. And now, you can bring the article week 2, article week 3, and you can see the sentence, the paragraph linking sign. Now, you can bring how many books you want, duduklah buat. Jawapan dalam internet tak ada. My question is, can a student jawab? This is an open book test. Let me tell you, bila soalan ni kan, semua pelajar gagal. Let me tell you, then also we will say, we are doing odds in our class. Then why students cannot do? I'll give you another example. Behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism are the three distinct perspectives of learning process theory has generated numerous interpretations for instructional design over the decades. Is it better to choose one theory when designing instruction or to draw ideas from these three different theories? Explain. Explain. This one, let me tell you, I tak bagi mereka buat 5-6 muka surat. I only give them 500 words. Precise. Let me tell you, the shorter the word, the more difficult to answer. So you can give them 1 day, you can give them 5 days. Doesn't matter. Precise, concise. And this answer, they must know behaviorism, they must know cognitivism, they must know constructivism. And now you kata level 1, they can define behaviorism, cognitive, but to link it, let me tell you, the application, the synthesis come level 6.
They use all level, bro.
Betul, you perlu level 1 juga. 100%, yeah. But you need to know level 1 to level 6. So open book. That's why the ideas of when they said all levels are important. Open book. Dia perlu master level 1, level 2 sebelum pergi level atas. Yeah. Kalau level 1, level 2 sampai apply, they not do yet, how to synthesize. So we ask ourselves the question, are we teaching students higher order thinking question? We say on paper we are, but are we actually? Example 3.
Prof, kalau kita tengok macam contoh Prof, Marzano and Kendall also mention about the importance of to understand the factual part before you can understand about the relationship between the theory or models. And even kalau kita tengok on the I have read some articles, they mention about the typology of cognitive. The knowledge acquisition is very important because of that one will allow you to understand far better on how to analyze and how to synthesize in a preferred context. So I think Prof, macam Prof katakan tadi, factual tu memang kena ada. I think that this is a very important one. Kalau factual tu tak difahami oleh pelajar, tak dikuasai oleh pelajar, I think that it's very difficult for them to go for the next stages. But then Prof, ada satu soalan daripada audience kita di YouTube. How do we sure the equality? It's very difficult to judge whether the student have the equally prepared for the exam or not. So how do you think about this, Prof?
Okay, let me tell you, every student has different cognitive growth. Every student has that. Okay, now if we want to do, I'm talking about kalau kita buat open book lah, kita buat open book.
Yeah, bro.
We must ensure that our students are ready for that. Of course, when you come to our class, we tell our children, kita ada 3 orang anak. Ada satu anak is very cognitive person. There are some students, anak, they are very psychomotor person. They are good in technical skills or whatever. Kita ada 5 jari kan. 5 jari pun berbeza. Semua tak boleh jadi sama. However, our job is to provide some fundamental basic. Itu pasal student bila kita pergi exam ada dapat A, B, C, D. We cannot ensure. We provide the fundamental basic. Now, if we want to do open book, right, we must have the fundamental basic yang dia telah master knowledge, dia telah master yang kedua, understand, lepas tu apply. Kalau kita mau pergi di yang level 4, 5, 6. We must, kalau, that's why I say, what if I will, I'm not enforcing my views on you. If I want to do open book test, when I will give them a closed book test first. They have mastered that. How to assure that in my classroom teaching? If you ask a question, what's the definition of measure or central location? Kalau you bagi jawapan pada pelajar, you are not preparing them for higher order thinking question. I understand the problem will be what, you know, kita perlu cover syllabus kita. 14 cover. This process nak ambil ini, akan ambil lama. That's why PhD, kita boleh sampai peringkat synthesis, tapi PhD 3 tahun boleh, 4 tahun, 5 tahun boleh. How to do our courses in 6 levels one shot? Very difficult. Challenging time. We always say we want to cover. Up till today, I tak faham, bila kita cover syllabus, kita tutup syllabus. Bila cover itu tutup, langsung tak nampak apa-apa. Itu pasal saya tak gunakan.
Prof, perhaps, I think that waktu kita bina syllabus, is it we should focus on the context of learnings, or we focus on the content of the learning, Prof? Because we only have about 14 weeks. We don't have so much time. And even we have to come up with an assessment, whether formative and summative assessment. So how could we address this, Prof?
Okay, in my opinion,
yeah,
context and content very important. Traditionally, kita selalu buat content saja. But current time, when we look, context very important. Try to relate the content to the context. Students can relate better. Because why? Nowadays, children, when you tell about content, tapi context dia berbeza, they cannot relate. Yeah. Let me tell you, the current trend is so bad. We always say, I give example, saya ada 2 anak. One is a straight A student. Straight A student, tak pernah dapat B campur juga, straight A. Satu anak very psychomotor type. Saya mau tukar mentol rumah saya. Mentol, ni bug. Yang grade, yang straight A student, oh, this is the filament, this is the cathode, this is the anode, the anions, everything, how semua. Tapi dia tak tahu tukar. He know everything about this thing, everything. Dia telah belajar konteks.
Yeah, everything.
Telah belajar, tapi tak belajar konteks untuk tukar. But my second one, I don't care lah. This one, I know electricity, I must hold properly, masukkan. You see, content and context are equally important. That's why content and context, you must have the application side lah. Must prepare, kalau terlampau content pun too dry lah. I think must have that. Okay, can I continue lah? Yeah. So this is the second. Prof. This is my second question. Open book test for math students. I get math teachers. They have to do on their own. They can do whatever they like. This one is discovery learning. Let me tell you, ini orang ingat dia tahu, tapi ramai guru matematik dapat salah. You have to do to understand. Again, another example. This question, maths. I go into maths now. There's no numbers mentioned at all. Orang kata maths perlu ada numbers. This question, jawab satu maths pun tak ada terlibat. I give this one to first year student coming inside. I can give open book or closed book. Tak ada masalah. This one. Look, 0 divided by 0 divided by 2. In this case, I provide the scenario. Apa kosong bagi kosong? I buktikan jadi 2. Mathematically is correct. Now I ask them, identify the error, if any, in the following competition and provide your explanation. Let me tell you. Open book test. Is there an error? I cannot see any error. Mathematically, 100% correct. So now, you can make that open book or closed book. I pergi cepat lah. Now it's sudah pukul 10. And this one, open book. At a party recently, I noticed that every person shook hands.
Prof, ada 15 minit lagi, Prof. Prof, ada 15 minit lagi. I still have time. All right.
Okay. So ini sekarang I'm showing the types of open book test. Okay, you will determine, we as the instructor akan tahu, pastikan jawapan ini tak ada dalam internet. Okay, is open book exam easier for students? OB is not easy because OB is supposed to be level 4, level 5 section of Bloom taxonomy. It will need extra effort from students to solve question because higher order thinking. Ini sebenarnya higher order thinking, cikgu, the question which I gave. It's not easy, let me tell you. Open book, the actual one is not easy. Easy is what? They can refer to the book, they don't have to memorize. But to write, now the issue, let me tell you the issue going to be. Open book requires students to have a good writing skills, let me tell you. That's where it's lacking. If you do not have a good writing skills, you cannot pen your thought, you will fail. Now, when we talk about higher thinking skills, I've been in UiTM for the, and this is a global problem. Writing skills, students face difficulty in writing English, right? To write higher order thinking of synthesis, you need good writing skills. If they cannot pen their thoughts through their write-up, they will fail. I repeat, if they cannot pen they have the thoughts maybe, but you cannot write it down, what's the use? To write synthesis, that's why, let me tell you, when we do our chapter 2 of our literature review, I'm telling this one based on my experience in evaluating more than 150 FRGS proposals in UiTM dan peringkat kebangsaan. Let me tell you, I'll tell, we have PhDs. Kita ada PhD. You know, in the FRGS proposal, right? Kita boleh tu semua. Literature review, the part where synthesis is involved. Let me tell you, we as lecturers facing difficulty. Kita boleh ambil this fellow say this fellow say this. Kita copy paste boleh. To synthesize it, so difficult. If we find difficult to synthesize, we expect our students to be able to synthesize? That's my question. I can give proof to show lectures with PhDs facing difficulty for level 4, 5, 6. This can be contact on your literature. You know, when literature review, you always comment, Plaza, I cannot see the synthesis. I cannot see the synthesis. Hello, lecturer, my fellow colleagues. I boleh cakap sekarang, saya ada 2 tahun untuk pension. I boleh cakap sekarang. Look at our proposals on FRGS. I beg to differ. Some of the qualities are look at one stage. Tapi memang di understand concept already. The change in colors, a good high, they do application because they have read a lot. The good students, they like to read, they have read a lot. And once they have read and are good at writing, they very, very well. Disadvantage, those open book, senang saja, saya copy saja daripada buku. Tough to control a secret discussion, students copy. Sekarang, you know, yesterday I think about copy when Dr. they share screens, how are we to control? Berlaku tak? Okay, let me tell you, saya ada data mengatakan berlaku. Advantage for instructors. These students have all the stuff in front. So if I think it's too open because we always say our questions are hot. Now time to show is hot. It's time to show is hot. Exam. Betul ke? We must have that walaupun so grading, although people easy, even easy if you have the content knowledge, that's all under deep disadvantage, hard to tell students have really learned the material or they're relying on book. To teach open book, we need to coach them. I repeat that our way of teaching for different than closed book. Cara kita mengajar is different. So they got a specific way of system, the so-called closed book. They are taught differently so that they become based on certain. Okay, this one, my findings about OBE lah. Those instructors in our UiTM, when we say this is my preliminary, I just found out, but we are doing a deeper research on that lah. I just show. Our open book test more difficult than closed book test. You know, people say open book test more difficult than closed book test. The answer is these are 136. 77 people say yes, no. I just asked the survey and actually go deeper yet. So 56% say it is more difficult. Now I want to know yang kata no itu, then I want to know siapa yang kata no, high CGPA or low CGPA. My contention is the person say more difficult is the yes or the high CGPA. Yang kata not difficult, yang kata low CGPA. That's my content. Again, I cannot generalize it. Must do more interviews with this student. Have you received any coaching regarding the approach of being? They have used, by the way, these students all has been exposed to open book test in UiTM for the past 2 years, for the past 1.5 years. So the setting is everybody of the population has undergone at least 2 or 3 open book assessment. No coaching to 2.49, that means hardly tak cukup lah coaching dia. So kita set tapi kita tak coach student how to prepare. Let me tell you there's a different set of coaching. Okay, the perceived performance. Again, perceived performance and actual. This is a perceived performance. The grades I receive open book test is usually higher. Betul, 6.9 out of 10 lah. I better exam pass rate. Yes, higher. I obtained scores in a certain Y open grade. Yes, higher. My academic performance improved. Higher. My academic performance better because it's easier to prepare. Ini ada tak kena lah. Let me ask you, the actual one is more difficult OBE than closed book because the level. So my question is, kenapa dia kata bagus? So that's where we must go further deeper inside. This is all superficial saja lah jawab answer dia. But this research by the way of 166 samples. From my experience open book, most of the time the answer available in the net 6.54 out of 10. Miss Cikgu yang dihormati sekalian yang dengar audience ini, those who have done open book, our answers available in the net. Students say, I'm not telling all. Again, I'm not telling all. I'm gonna go. Maybe the data was not large enough, but this is just a prelim. You said there is something not right is going on. Are instructors ready for this change? I think we must ask ourselves, are we ready? They do not have to learn to frame question differently or required to set up different success criteria. It's different. Dua berbeza. Are the instructors equipped for this change? Let me tell you, we need to be educated to do this one. That's why special training is required in specific per se. Tak boleh satu general macam Dr. Pramji kasih. I cannot. I can only give it for my area. I cannot give for sciences. I cannot give for medicine. All have their own specific area. Let me tell you, I'm not generalizing this one. These are more for social science, but I cannot generalize for medicine. Medicine has been doing all the while very well. Law has been doing all the while. So again, not generalist based on what, mostly on social science. If the instructor sets an open book exam, a question seems to be similar in the past exam, this is really screw up by the instructor. Sorry, I have to use the word screw up. Saya nampak ni, I kata, and nothing to do with the students, by the way. Don't blame the students. Yeah, we blame the instructor. Okay. I'm very sorry to say, I asked students, are the answers available? They say, yes, sir. Kita tukar numbers dan sebagainya, I think not right lah. Meet the open exam easy? Yes. Don't need to prepare? Yes. They can be finished quickly? Yes. Answer easy to find? Yes. Yes. These are very clear if the answers to OB are available. Kalau jawapan ada, semua betul lah. Kalau jawapan ada, tapi that's my final conclusion here. Suggestion for instructors. I think we all, bila kita set open book, kita tak suka share pasal academic. We never share with other people. I think we must open up as instructors. Like Japanese, when they teach maths, they have a lesson plan. Dia gunakan, they combine together, dia masuk kelas dia tengok orang ajar, orang lain masuk kita. We tak pernah share lah. I think have a discussion with fellow colleagues. who have content that area. If you say that your questions are open book, share with your colleague, not with research stories. As I said just now, research story, a person tahu sikit macam Dr. Paramdeep cakap sikit. I'm not telling I'm an expert. Unless I've been using year in, year out. And also the Dunning-Kruger effect. You know what Dunning-Kruger effect? This paper I just wrote, The Dunning-Kruger effect, this study, they say, when you ask a question or survey, how well do you know about COVID? This latest study now. They ask people 1 to 10. The basic people, dia kata 7, 8, 7, 8. When you ask the specialist, how well you know, the more they read, the less they know. The applicator, dia kata 4, 5. It seems to show those who are really into the area, they will undervalue their judgment. I repeat, those who are experienced, they will undervalue their judgment, whereas those yang research story too, they say, yes, I'm good at it. You found that. That's called Dunning-Kruger effect. That's why the paper which I wrote recently, kita buat survey kan. It's very dangerous to put survey. Survey, you ask to a bright student. Survey, saya ambil contoh, this Dunning-Kruger effect, very simple. Like those who do not know this one, you ask a student, dalam katakan from class 1 lah, dia CGPA 4.00. Tiap-tiap kali dia dapat markah untuk satu subjek 90, 94, 95. How your performance? Very good lah. Tapi kalau dia dapat 88, my performance very weak. Because why? The expectation 95. So when that person got 88, when you ask, how was your performance? Average. But when you ask the student yang selalu dapat 40, 45, and the person dapat 50, how's your performance? Very good. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, especially from survey. Be careful. You can use a replicate reflect model. This model was formed where you let other people do and you replicate it. Kita buat dengan 2 orang berbeza, then replicate it to a group of students. Professional ILD has a part to play lah. I think I already spoken before, and ILD will come out with special courses specific per se. Jangan buat untuk semua orang. Sometimes kita pergi kursus, I'm not telling, because sometimes for science, for medicine might not work for social science. Sometimes for dentistry might not work for social science. Sometimes for law might work for, so specific area, the specific lecture will be much better. We ourselves need to have this thirst for knowledge lah kalau kita mau tukar. I think we ask ourselves, kita perlu tahu, and knowledge development. Ini copy paste and paraphrasing salah. Kalau copy paste paraphrasing itu paraphrasing is not entitled for open book. Paraphrasing dia copy, dia paraphrase panggil orang lain. This is still academic dishonesty. I think ini Google, the issue is the Google now lah. Okay, I think I better student to be coach. I think saya buat banyak. I go to my use case studies.
I think Prof, I think that you have lots of you want to share, Prof, I guess.
Okay, my final two
slides. Every audience looks very excited because of they are hoping that if we can have one special workshop, and I think that Prof already proposed to ILD, right? To have a workshop on that.
Yeah, but I propose ILD ambil satu expert lah. Saya bukan expert because why? You see now the main challenge that test supposed to test is that the test what is supposed to test. If we want to test reproductive knowledge, open book is not your opinion. If instructors are ill-equipped in setting questions for open book is not your option. Ini be careful this one lah. Perception, reflection. Remember, traditional seems to imply old, but it's still old. Let me tell you, kita jangan kata sebab I think traditional carries a lot of things. So we balance it up lah. So jangan kata traditional itu tak bagus. Okay, I think dear instructors, are you prepared for open book examination?
You have to answer yourself.
Okay,
Prof.
Sorry for
it was very, I think that is very insightful, Prof. Very fruitful session because of you opening our eyes to look on the perspective of open books exam, and I think that you have a lot more to share actually, but maybe because of we have very little time for now. But anyway, Prof, kami nak ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Prof because of your time, because of your knowledge, and because of what you have done. I think that the most important part, Prof, I think that you also did your majlis Grant Majlis Professor on this research. I think this research, I think you are talking about critical analysis of open book implementation in UiTM, and I think that it gives us maybe a lot of input about this. However, thank you so much, Prof. And kepada yang lain-lain, terima kasih banyak-banyak kerana sesi selepas ini juga sangat menarik kerana kita bawakan seorang profesor iaitu Prof. Dr. Faizah Abdul Majid yang akan bercerita tentang promoting higher order thinking through case study. Jadi saya harap tuan-tuan dan puan kita akan berehat sebentar 15 minit dan kita akan kembali semula pukul 10.30 pagi pada link yang berikutnya. Dan saya harap tuan-tuan dan puan mana-mana viewer yang masih still bersama-sama dengan kami because of untuk slot seterusnya ini pun sangat menarik because of we are talking about higher order thinking process. So thank you so much, Prof. Saya ucapkan ribuan terima kasih. Mungkin tak cukup masa, Prof. Maybe next time kita akan jemput Prof lagi, insya-Allah. Prof, thank you so much. Thank you yang lain. Kita jumpa lagi untuk sesi yang seterusnya. Bye bye.